Hi everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. This is Nina and where's Shane?
Sorry.
Where have you been? Oh my god.
Yeah. You remember I told you I was going to adopt a cat or a dog?
Yeah? You adopted a tiger or something?
Yeah, basically I adopted a cat, but I think it's a little bit more like a tiger. It just attacked my finger.
Oh my god.
So I just got back from the doctor, and yeah, I think I need to change my bandage.
That looks really bad.
Yeah.
You should probably change it, make sure it's not infected.
Yeah, I think dogs and cats, it looks so cute, but I got it home and it's really rough.
I think, yeah, maybe you should just get yourself a plant. You know, those don't attack you. Or at least.
Don't they have like meat-eating plants too, right?
Yeah, there are.
Venus flytrap, like that kind of thing?
I think we're not safe anywhere, are you?
Yeah, and plus, I don't know, I think that I don't really have a green thumb. So I have a red finger, but not a green thumb.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would probably kill the plant.
Before it kills you?
Before it kills me! Okay.
You don't know.
I'm gonna go change this bandage because this isn't looking good. Oh, sorry. You can go ahead and continue.
Okay. All right, guys. So this time we're talking about Cunning Green Killers, Part 1. Let's see what that's about.
Plants are usually thought of as gentle things feeding on sunlight and air, but not all are so harmless. Some are cold-hearted killers that use clever traps to catch their victims. Luckily for us, their prey is largely insects. Here is just a small sample of the more than 600 known species of meat-eating plants.
Welcome back. I am Shane.
And I'm Nina.
And we're looking at Cunning Green Killers. So I have a cunning orange killer because my cat is orange. So he's pretty cunning. He can get what he wants by using very sneaky or deceitful methods.
Ooh, cats are like that.
Yeah, cats are kind of sneaky, right?
Yes, they are.
And very clever, but it's really not, it's not in a good way. Cunning sounds kind of negative, right?
Yeah, it's like they're going to cheat or, you know, trick their way into getting what they want.
Yeah, which was my finger, and almost cut my finger off.
Oh no.
All right, we have an example sentence. The cunning thief has managed to stay one step ahead of the police.
Ooh,
so he's
smart.
cunning, he's a thief. That's what we think of when you think cunning.
Exactly. Plants are usually thought of as gentle things, feeding on sunlight and air.
Right, they're plants, right?
Yeah.
They just sit there and all they do is just sit there.
Sit there and grow.
And grow.
And just make you happy, give you great air to breathe, right?
Right, and look pretty.
Yeah, exactly. But not all are so harmless. Ooh.
So we have some dangerous ones.
Yes. Some are cold-hearted killers that use clever traps to catch their victims.
Cold-hearted. So if somebody
Wow.
or something is cold-hearted, that means that their heart is cold? What does that mean?
It means that they don't feel bad for doing bad things.
Yeah, if I say you're really cold-hearted, maybe you're mean to me and you don't show any sympathy.
Yeah.
You don't care.
I don't care.
So these plants are cold-hearted killers that use clever traps.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, let's continue reading. Luckily for us, their prey is largely insects.
Oh, okay.
So they don't prey on humans.
So we don't have to worry? So your finger's okay? Like it's
but
safe?
I wonder, but how do they know? If I put my finger inside one of these plants, you'd think it was just going to...
I think it would still wrap around your finger, right?
I would imagine that it would. Okay, so we have this word prey here too. It's like predator and prey.
Yes.
So a prey is something that gets hunted.
Yes.
And a predator is something that hunts.
Yes.
So we're not prey for these plants. Their prey is insects. They prey on insects. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Here is just a small sample of the more than 600 known species of meat-eating plants.
Oh, wow.
What? There's 600 different species of meat-eating plants?
I only know of one. That's wild.
The Venus flytrap, right?
Yes.
That's the most famous one.
Wow,
So,
meat-eating plants. Never thought of that.
So they said here that humans, they don't prey on humans. They largely prey on insects. What does that mean, largely?
Largely is an adverb. It means to a great degree. So on a whole, mostly, and even almost completely.
Okay.
So we almost completely don't have to worry about these plants.
Yeah, we mostly don't need to worry about these plants.
Yeah. An example sentence would be, my uncle says the media is largely to blame for how politically divided America is. Because the media says this, the media says that, so people listen to the media, right?
Right.
And they are largely to blame, so most people will blame the media.
Yeah, so I think that largely here really just means mostly. Right?
Yeah, mostly, yeah.
Yeah, so the media is mostly to blame. I think my cat is completely to blame for destroying my finger.
It seems okay to me. You know, the doctor stitched it up.
Yeah, especially since it was a fake cut, so it healed pretty well.
Yes,
Okay,
indeed.
let's take a break. I need to rest my finger.
Oh.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这2天的课文呢是要介绍 Cunning Green Killers 狡猾的食虫植物。那么 cunning 就是形容狡猾的、奸诈的。Shane 老师用到 deceitful 这个字 ，D-E-C-E-I-T-F-U-L。deceitful 是形容欺诈的、欺骗的或是不诚实的。那么课文写到说，植物通常被视为是温和的东西，以阳光和空气为食。不过呢，并不是所有植物都那么无害哦，有些可是无情的杀手，会用巧妙的陷阱来捕捉猎物。不过幸好它们的猎物大多是昆虫，不是人。那么 largely 这个副词就可以表达大多、主要的或是大致上。而文中用到 prey P-R-E-Y，prey 表示猎物或者是被捕食的动物。那么相对的，我们学一下 predator， 就是掠食者 P-R-E-D-A-T-O-R predator。这边2个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，来看第一个重点是 think of A as B， 表示把 A 视为 B， 认为 A 是 B。那么这个 A 可以是人或事物。as 后方 B 的部分，你可以用名词或形容词来表示。例如 Matt thinks of the job as the opportunity of a lifetime。Matt 认为那份工作是千载难逢的好机会。那第2个重点是 feed on something， 是指以什么为食为食物，那通常是用来描述动物哦。例如 most spiders feed on insects， 大多数的蜘蛛以昆虫为食。那接回到课文中。
Venus flytrap. With its distinctive toothed jaws, the Venus flytrap is probably the most famous of the meat-eating plants. It waits with its bright red jaws open until an insect lands inside. Within the jaws are several sensitive hairs. If a struggling insect bends these hairs far enough and with adequate speed, the jaws snap shut, trapping the insect in a prison from which it will never escape. Tropical pitcher plant. This plant has leaves shaped like vases that can be up to 30 centimeters across, big enough to catch small frogs as well as insects. On the bottom surface of each vase's lid is sweet-smelling nectar, which attracts nearby creatures. If an unlucky creature happens to slip and fall into the vase, it drowns in a thick liquid produced within and is slowly digested by the hungry plant.
Welcome back, guys. So earlier we were talking about cunning green killers, right?
Yeah, so basically they're just plants that eat meat.
Yeah.
You don't really think of you think of animals as being carnivorous,
yeah,
which means to eat meat. But you think of plants as being what? They just eat air.
Yeah.
They don't eat anything. They take nutrients and stuff from the soil, but you don't think of them as really having a mouth and eating things.
Yeah, but they do. So let's learn more about it.
So I think the most famous one, and the one that you're probably going to be the most familiar with, is the Venus flytrap.
Yes. So.
And it traps flies, right?
Yeah, flies and insects, I believe. So, Venus flytrap with its distinctive toothed jaws. Again, with a quote, tooth, because they don't actually have teeth.
They're not real teeth.
Exactly.
But it looks like teeth because they kind of have that kind of shape,
yes.
right?
That's how how it's easier for them to catch the flies, right?
Right.
Yeah. The Venus flytrap is probably the most famous of the meat-eating plants. This is the one I heard of. Yeah.
Right, so carnivorous plants.
Very weird. It waits with its bright red jaws open until an insect lands inside. Within the jaws are several sensitive hairs.
Okay, so this kind of makes sense. It's bright red,
yeah.
So I'm sure that that's going to be to attract
the flies,
right,
the
to attract the prey.
Yes.
Right? And there's sensitive hairs inside. Okay. Oh, I'm sure the hairs let them know that something has landed.
Yeah.
Right? Like an insect. So if a struggling insect bends these hairs far enough and with adequate speed, the jaws snap shut, trapping the insect in a prison from which it will never escape.
Wow. Very strong. So with an adequate speed, what is adequate? Adequate is an adjective, which means enough, sufficient, or satisfactory. So an acceptable amount of, or for a particular purpose.
Right. Yeah, so just enough. So it uses enough force to close and keep the insect trapped inside?
Yeah.
Inside its jail?
Yeah, so an example sentence would be, 2 days of studying is not adequate to prepare for your final exam.
Right.
Listen to those words.
That's definitely not enough.
Yeah, you need to be studying almost on a daily basis.
Yeah, all day long, English.
Yeah, non-stop. Don't sleep.
So it snaps with adequate force, right? So it's a snap basically means that you have two things that come together to make a noise or a sound is to snap, to close together, right? Or you could have two pieces of like fingers or skin coming together to make a noise.
Snap.
Snap, that's snapping too.
Yes.
An example sentence. As soon as Lewis stepped into the dark basement, a mouse trap snapped shut on his big toe.
Ouch.
Can you imagine how much that would hurt?
Oh, I can only imagine. I don't want that happening to me.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
I think I've seen that happen a lot in Tom and Jerry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it happens to Tom.
I think in cartoons it's pretty common
Yes,
to get your toe caught in a mouse trap.
Yes.
All right, now moving on to the tropical pitcher plant. Tropical pitcher plant. Okay, so tropical means it's coming from the tropics. So this is an adjective to describe something that is like something that you see in the tropics or that is from the tropics, just meaning the place in the earth, right, around the middle, around the equator area.
Yes.
So, for example, palm trees grow in hot climates, so they are mostly found in tropical regions. It's like Taiwan is a tropical region, so it's hot and wet.
Rainy, yes.
Okay. This plant has leaves shaped like vases that can be up to 30 centimeters across, big enough to catch small frogs as well as insects.
Wow.
So it eats frogs too, not just insects.
That is so crazy.
So it's not a very far step from frogs to humans.
Okay.
So if there's a big enough one of these.
Yeah, it could possibly take us.
Whoa, like a really small person or a really big plant.
Yes, like maybe the plant has to be like 10 times that size, but
yeah, but
it's
frogs. I was thinking just insects, but now we know, wow, frogs. It's not a very big step to humans.
Yeah, we might want to be careful around plants if you're in a jungle.
Yeah.
On the bottom surface of each vase's lid is sweet-smelling nectar.
Okay.
That's how they attract it. So the color and the smell,
Exactly.
just like a predator.
That's exactly. So prey is always going towards these, like, you know, something that looks bright or that looks like it tastes good or that smells good.
Exactly. Which attracts nearby creatures. If an unlucky creature happens to slip and fall into the vase, it drowns in a thick liquid produced within and is slowly digested by the hungry plant.
Oh my gosh, sounds like such a horrible way to die. Being digested to death. So if you're to digest is a verb, which means that we take food or nutrients through your body, right? And then in the stomach will process it.
Yeah.
And then use what it needs and then get rid of the rest, right? So basically, you're just going to fall into this liquid and get digested by a plant.
Goodness, this sounds like a horror movie.
It sounds like a horror movie.
I feel like this is probably a scene in a horror movie somewhere, but instead of it being insects and frogs, it's actually human.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it does sound like an old-fashioned science fiction movie.
Yes, it does.
So the example sentence we have for digest, a lot of people are unable to fully digest a type of sugar that is found in milk. A lot of Asians are lactose intolerant, right?
Yes.
Wow, so we've learned about some pretty scary plants. I think that's enough for today.
Yeah,
I'm going to have nightmares.
Yeah, I'm going to have nightmares about plants too.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to probably be a frog in my dream and get eaten by this big plant.
Oh no. Okay, let's not think about it. I hope you enjoyed today's topic and we will see you next time.
And I wish you good dreams.
Yes, don't dream about plants though.
好，刚刚 Shane 老师先用到了 carnivorous 这个字 ，carnivorous，carnivorous 是形容肉食性的。那当我们说 carnivorous plants， 就是用来表达食肉植物或者是食虫植物。好，那么接下来我们就要介绍2种典型的食肉植物喽。第一个是捕蝇草 ，Venus flytrap。捕蝇草有着独特的齿状下颚，不是真的有牙齿，是牙齿状。好，它会张开血盆大口，等着昆虫来降落。那它的下颚中有几根敏感的刺毛，如果这个挣扎的昆虫以够快的速度让那些刺毛弯曲到一个程度，这个下颚就会啪一声把它关上，那昆虫就被困住了。好，单字 adequate 它是形容足够的，能满足所需的。那么 snap 这个动词可以表达啪一声关上，或是突然折断，还有这个弹手指来发出这个啪一声的声响。好，下一个介绍的是猪笼草，它叫做 tropical pitcher plant。Tropical 是形容热带的，那我们顺便补充一下，可以用 the tropics 来表达热带，还有 the equator 来表达赤道。那课文写到说，猪笼草的叶子形状像花瓶，它的宽度呢可以高达30公分诶，大到可以捕捉小青蛙跟昆虫，而且每个瓶盖的底部表面有香气扑鼻的花蜜，就会吸引附近的生物。那这个不幸的生物滑落瓶子里呢，就会淹死在浓稠液体当中，慢慢被消化掉了，好可怕。好，再来看 digest。Digest 这个动词就表示消化食物的那个消化。好，那么例句写到说，很多人无法完全消化存在牛奶中的一种糖，这时候老师们提到 lactose intolerant。Lactose intolerant 就是乳糖不耐症的。这边3个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，来看第一个重点是分词片语。那我们的形容词子句呢，可以简化成分词片语，用来修饰先行词。那简化的步骤呢，就是先省略了主格关系代名词，然后把后面的动词改分词，主动就用动词 ing， 被动就用过去分词 pp。例如 ，They visited a castle which was built in the 16th century。他们参观一座兴建于16世纪的城堡。那形容词子句当中这个 which was built， 你可以把它简化成 built 就好了。They visited a castle built in the 16th century。第二重点是 across 当副词可以表达我们在测量的时候说宽多少多少，那这个用法就是数字加上长度单位再加上 across。例如 The hole is 4 feet across， 那个洞宽4英尺。那么下一个重点是用形容词或副词加上 enough to 加原形动词，可以表达够怎么样而能怎么样，怎么样怎么样到足以做某事。举例来说 ，Their toddler is tall enough to reach the doorknob。他们家的那个还在学步的幼儿啊，已经高到能够碰到门把了，真的要小心了。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Plants are usually thought of as gentle things feeding on sunlight and air, but not all are so harmless. Some are cold-hearted killers that use clever traps to catch their victims. Luckily for us, their prey is largely insects. Here is just a small sample of the more than 600 known species of meat-eating plants. Venus flytrap. With its distinctive toothed jaws, the Venus flytrap is probably the most famous of the meat-eating plants. It waits with its bright red jaws open until an insect lands inside. Within the jaws are several sensitive hairs. If a struggling insect bends these hairs far enough and with adequate speed, the jaws snap shut, trapping the insect in a prison from which it will never escape. Tropical pitcher plant. This plant has leaves shaped like vases that can be up to 30 centimeters across, big enough to catch small frogs as well as insects. On the bottom surface of each vase's lid is sweet-smelling nectar, which attracts nearby creatures. If an unlucky creature happens to slip and fall into the vase, it drowns in a thick liquid produced within and is slowly digested by the hungry plant.
The Blue Tears Museum is a one-of-a-kind museum located on Nangan Island, Matsu. This museum offers visitors an interactive experience with Matsu's famous blue tears. Every April and May, the oceans around Matsu will glow bright blue at night. These blue tears are caused by tiny plankton that grow in the water this time of year. The Blue Tears Museum began to grow these special plankton so visitors can see the blue tears year-round. Inside the museum, visitors can stir bowls full of seawater and watch the water glow bright blue. The museum also has rooms providing information about the blue tears. Visit the Blue Tears Museum for an unforgettable experience.
See you next time!